Hey everybody, it's Dave Battis with Remax of Reading, and I'm here today with one of my local business spotlights. I'm very happy to have with me Claire Farrar. Her business is called Oiled Up Mama. You can check her out on, everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah, we'll find out. So how you doing, Claire?
Good, how are you?
Good,
Thanks
good.
for having me.
It's my pleasure, my pleasure. So you essentially sell doTERRA essential oils,
Yes.
among other things. So we're here today to kind of learn about what it is that you do and why people would want to work with you.
Yeah. So I partner with doTERRA, an essential oil company, and those are the products that I use, and those are the products that I educate about. Essentially, I always say 5% of my job is getting the oils in your hands or getting the products in your hands. Right. 95% is the journey we take kind of on your health journey. Right. So it's more about asking a lot of questions, finding out what your health goals are, finding out anything that's going on. It can be, I've been dealing a lot with my friends and kids with sleep and nightmares and things, hence why I have juniper berry with me today. I have to drop that off to somebody.
Gotcha.
And it could be, balancing your hormones, weight loss, allergies.
Right.
And the main goal of myself and the overall goal of the company is to really get people off of prescription medications, if that's possible. Okay, yeah.
Well, let me touch on that. So thank you for that introduction. I mean, that pretty much covers it, really. But what about the thing we were talking about the other day, which was the dependence on the chemicals that everybody uses, like everybody, and it's just kind of our way of life here in America.
Yeah. So, we really don't know any better. What happened was, and a lot of this happened, I think, back in the day, our grandparents had really nutrient-dense food. They were doing a lot of things more naturally. We just didn't call it that yet. So, for example, our grandparents were probably cleaning with white vinegar. Right. And things like that. Well, fast forward, you get into like the 70s, 80s, and everything was kind of like a fast fix. So it was all about like the Comet and the Clorox and how fast can you scrub out that stain, and it wasn't going back to like, your grandmother's old way of scrubbing out that stain with some fresh lemon and baking soda and things like that. And then, everybody liked that. And what nobody realized then, of course, when things were created, like dryer sheets, fast forward to now, we're seeing a lot of things coming out from that. A lot of, adverse effects. So, for example, autoimmune is the highest it's ever been. Autoimmune disease is a buildup of toxins in your system. Okay. And how that happens isn't just what you put in your body, for example, like with eating or, drinking beers or whatever that is. That's also outside things that are kind of absorbing.
We're barraged by it all day long.
Exactly. Yeah. And some of it we can control and some of it we can't. Right. We can't control if we walk out the door and we're breathing in car exhaust. That is what it is. It's probably not going to change for a very long time. I thought we would be the Jetsons by now, but we're not. So, but we can change spraying Febreze in our bathroom. We can change using that Comet or that Arm & Hammer, Mr. Clean and things like that, because all of that is so laden with stuff, and you're breathing it into your lungs, and it's going in through your skin, right into your bloodstream. Right. And that's where, little by little, those toxins are kind of building in your system, and there's really no way to get them out. And that's where, there is a way you can detox and not use them anymore.
Clean for quite a while, I would imagine, yeah.
And like we were talking about the other day, I think people, and rightfully so, they don't understand that it can actually be much more cost effective and really simple to make those little changes.
To sort of switch over and start to limit your exposure to some of those things in your household.
Exactly.
Cool. So the doTERRA oils that you use, you want to just give a couple examples of things that you recommend to your friends and clients that seem more common. Kids coming home, now kids are back to school, they're coming home with stuff. We have teenagers that are, losing their minds because they're teenagers or whatever. Yeah.
You want that spray.
Yeah.
So there is a couple main oils that we definitely use the most in our house. Especially right now, we're using an oil called On Guard. That is a blend, and it is a proprietary blend of things like rosemary and cinnamon and wild orange and clove. And all of those things are very powerful antioxidants and antivirals. So what On Guard can do, and there's the oil, so we have the actual oil itself, which we can diffuse all day in our house to kill bacteria, to purify the air.
Good to know.
And while it's doing that, it's supporting your respiratory system. It's also protecting you from other people. So I have little kids. I have a lot of kids over my house a lot. Bring all the kids over, let them wreck my basement, so that you can socialize with your friends, really. But I'm always diffusing On Guard in all the rooms to kind of protect everybody, because when there's the coughing and the sniffling, as that stuff's going out in the air, the On Guard's actually killing it. On Guard has been very strongly studied, so there is clinical research behind it through Johns Hopkins University.
Good.
To where not only, when I say it will protect you, what I mean is, unlike some, let's say hand sanitizer, for example. When you put hand sanitizer on your hands, you're killing bacteria, for sure. But you're killing all the bacteria, and that's kind of all you're doing at the time. So you wipe it off, you're good, you have that's why doctors, when they walk in a room, every single time they do it. If you're using On Guard, not only is it going to kill just the bad bacteria, but then it will also continually protect you for several hours. If you're cleaning with it in your house, it will be protected for several days, as in microorganisms can't live in it for a certain amount of time. And there was an article, a peer-reviewed article that went out based on that research. So that's why I clean my whole house with it, I diffuse it, and every day that goes right on my kids topically to help protect them in school. So they're not picking up everything that's going around. And then they have their little On Guard sanitizer in their school bag, and they spray their hands throughout the day.
That's great. You're training them.
They are so trained.
That's good. This is when it needs to happen, to be honest.
We use a lemon a ton. So lemon is cheap, easy. It is a degreaser. It is an antiviral. It's a detoxifier. So that's in my water all the time to help gently detoxify the organs. And that's what's in my glass cleaner at home, and things like that. So lemon's very versatile to use throughout your house.
So your whole approach isn't just the oils; it's advocating like for other natural, like cleaning products. And things like that as well.
It's really detoxifying as a whole.
So
really like mind, body, home. So that. They kind of all work together. If we're using the oils every day on us, say topically as a part of a daily routine for killing viruses or bacteria, and then we're going home and, I'm spraying Febreze all over the house, or I'm just putting chemicals back in, we're really kind of like backing ourselves up. Now,
the whole purpose,
that being said, I don't advise, like anything else in life, dieting is a big one, don't try to go all in.
Just take it incrementally.
So quickly. And I think that's really where I would say I shine as far as helping with other people. Is helping them through the baby steps. Like, let's start here and let's do this. And let's get a routine here.
See if you see any results or
and
how you feel about it, and we can take the next step.
Kind of like creating those little habits. Like, let's create this habit first. And then we'll go to here, and really helping to make it more of a lifestyle so that you're really not thinking about it. They're my medicine cabinet. So when something happens with my kids, I open up my cabinet, and there's oil bottles, or roller balls, or like little sprays, and that's our go-to.
So you've sort of integrated that entirely, and I get your total point about the way we are in the society as well. Is like we're all in, but then we're only all in for like a certain period of time, and then we revert back. So I really like the idea.
Because it's hard. You set yourself up for failure when you try to do that. I've done it several times in dieting
Join the club.
And other things. I mean, I want to write a blog. Okay, and then you go for 2 days, and you're like, and then it's like, people be like, I want to write a blog, and I want to do this, I want to do that, and then they like all in one day, and then you drop off because you can't do it unless you really set yourself up. What do they say it takes? How many days to start?
Like 30 or 20.
Yeah, they used to say, I don't know. It's some odd number, like 27 or 30, 36. But it takes that many days to really form a habit. And even longer to form a lifestyle, for sure.
Yeah, and I think in this, again, in our society, we are really conditioned to have just the utmost inconvenience, inconvenience. So, when we go out of that routine, even though we think it's a great idea, we really have to, I love the idea of just taking it incrementally,
Yeah,
So
you have to.
What was the impetus for you to get into this field?
Well, it was actually a combination of me having acid reflux and GERD for 20 years.
Okay.
And being on medications for 20 years.
20 years.
Yeah,
Wow.
20 years. So when I was 13, it came on. And then, well, I'm 38 now, so I started oil about 5 years ago. So when I was 13, I was diagnosed with acid reflux. And this was before Zantac was like over the counter.
Right.
Excuse me. So I had it as a script. I had all kinds of tests done. It's pretty bad. So I was just on medications all the time. And at no time did a doctor ever think to try to get me off of this medication or really find the root problem.
Right.
It was just always, you have a lot of acid or you have this.
Keeping it at bay, basically.
Exactly. It's exactly what we were doing. And it wasn't really doing it all the time. Like I would still get flare-ups.
Right.
So I was not only just taking one regular medication every single day, I was also taking these in between when I would get, a flare-up or something.
Right.
And right around the time that I had my two kids, they're only 13 months apart, my first two kids, I was doing like the baby colds and stuff, and you can't give them anything.
Right.
So I think that really just started my wheels turning. So I can't take anything when I'm pregnant, and I can't give anything to the babies. So why are we allowed to take so much?
Right.
And I went down a rabbit hole for sure.
Okay.
But it definitely helped because I realized I gave my my 8-week-old. She was 8 weeks old when she got like her first cold.
Okay.
And I was doing the suction and saline and steam and everything.
Right.
And then my friend introduced me to the oils and kind of gave me like a little. Some of her stuff to try for like a week. Like, here, do this in the diffuser and put this like on her chest and her feet. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's sleeping all night and her nose is dry now.
Wow.
I didn't have to get her up in the middle of the night to put her back in the steam. And, because the babies, they can't move. So then they wake back up like all stuffed up again. And it was super sad. So I was like, well, that started, what could I started doing a lot of research on what I could do for my reflux. And
so you stumbled onto something.
I started the process of trying more natural solutions, and I think I started like every other day on my medication, and then in between doing different things, and I just weaned off. And I mean, now I don't even get flare-ups.
That's incredible.
So I think I just really had to heal from the inside, but there wasn't one single doctor that
suggested an alternative to the omeprazole and all that
stuff. No. And that stuff is, it's not meant for the long term.
Right. It's harmful, actually. Yeah. So really quickly then, the solution for that was something you take internally, or was it something you put on your skin, or just we'll touch on that and then we'll finish up with
it was honestly it was a combination. So it was some regular internal supplements and oils to help with, and one of them's lemon. Lemon's a big one because lemon oil comes from the rind and not the fruit. It's cold pressed from the rind, which means it will not. Usually, if you drink lemon or citruses, it's going to kick up your acid reflux.
Right, it's actually harsh.
Yeah, and I still can't drink lemonade or orange juice. I just won't do it. But lemon oil will bounce the pH in your system.
Okay.
Which helps with that, acid and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I do have something I use topically if I am starting having any kind of an issue.
Like a flare up of some sort.
Yeah, if I can start feeling coming on, I can use something topically on my abdomen, and it really subsides in less than 5 minutes.
That's
now.
Incredible.
Yeah,
that's
amazing.
Really good to know. My wife. Hi Mel. My
Mel.
My wife Melanie has something similar, and I think she'd really be interested in talking to you about it. So that's super cool.
It's amazing to not have to do that.
I can't even believe
it every day.
Yeah, that's really good to hear. So Oiled Up Mama, doTERRA oils, Claire Farrar. Why don't you just tell people how the best ways to find you out there, and the way if they would want to be curious about this.
Yeah, so on Instagram it's Oiled Up Mama, MAMA. On Facebook, Be Essentially Well is the page. Facebook will not let me change it to oil.mama. I don't know why.
Yeah, whatever.
They are so strict. So, yeah, on there. And then those are the best places to probably reach me, because you can message me, or, we can talk a little bit, and then we can either meet. I definitely love meeting with people in person. Mm-hmm. We do in-person classes, one-on-ones. And I think it's important to mention that I do have partners in the community that I work with. Mm-hmm. So, the Oil.Mama community is really, it's me and others. It's chiropractors, it's physical therapists, I have a whole team of nurses at Hershey Medical Center. So we kind of really pull the knowledge and the research to really try to help people as much as we can. Yeah. So I'm definitely not pulling stuff out of my own brain, that's for sure.
Well, no, you've done a lot of research and had a tremendous amount of experience, with it, and it's intrigued me. So I really, since meeting you, I really wanted to, do something like this. So Oil.Mama on Instagram, Be Essentially Well on Facebook, and how about just a phone number, which we'll post in the video as well, in case someone wants to give you a call or text. And
the area code is 484-716-5166, and you will get me.
All right. So that's Claire Farrar. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nice chatting with you.
Thank you.